Hey everybody, it's Jen and I'm here with Kari and we're on our summer series. We're talking about ways to really embrace summer. Last week, if you tuned in, we really talked about just slowing down and embracing the time outside and with our families and the rest. And today we want to continue our summer series on just easy swaps for summer. A lot of maybe body care, things like bug spray, sunscreen, those sorts of things. Because I know as a mom, you're always looking for cleaner options, right? Safer options for your family. And sometimes you don't know where to look or what ingredients are good and what ingredients aren't good. And you just want to, have really some options for for yourself and for your family. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Kari, do you
Cool.
want to talk about some of your favorite? Well, obviously, let's start here. Sunscreen is a huge one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think that's where the majority of people are probably going on vacation or they're spending time, by water or in a pool, and sunscreens become super important,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah. Um, so as far as just what to look for, there are a lot more, I would say, like natural brands now. So we're certainly not saying we're just kind of giving you what we do, but there's a
Right.
lot
We're
more.
not
Yeah,
experts.
we're
Yeah.
not experts. But really just kind of encourage you to think about these things. And as you run out, maybe replace it with a better option. I think that's just what we would encourage you to do. But just with sunscreen, there it's just kind of this mentality of you don't necessarily want to always have your skin covered with sunscreen because there are so many
Right. Good
benefits to the
point.
sun, right?
Good point. I think everybody is so afraid of the sun that as soon as their kids walk out the door, they're like lathering them up from head to toe,
Yeah.
right? And we weren't meant to be lathered up head to toe
Yeah.
with sunscreen.
So am probably the opposite because of that. So I'm like, oh, I should
Same.
probably apply sunscreen now.
Me
And
too, Carrie.
I am a really big fan of like hats and long sleeve shirts, if you're at the beach for like an
Right,
extended amount of time. I mean, I always
right.
have a hat on. Just because I feel like that really helps. And the older I get, I usually stay up under the tent. I'm not like just sunbathing for hours, I mean, so you have to think
Right.
about it maybe from that
Right.
aspect too.
Definitely be smart about it.
Yeah. But
But you do
you're,
need,
yeah,
go ahead.
you're going to need some at some point, right? um, So lucky for me, doTERRA came out, which is the brand that I typically use for a lot of these things. They came out with sunscreen, I think, a year ago. And so I've tried out everything they have, and I really love the stick that they have, and then the lotion. They do have a spray, and they have after sun spray as well. I do really like the lotion and the stick. I feel like they go on really well. And a lot of the more natural options do leave a white cast on your skin
Right.
because
They're a
they don't.
physical barrier, right?
Yes. And so I find that these do go on well and don't necessarily leave that as much as others do. And sometimes a lot of those are hard to go on. It actually is hard to get it over a large area of your skin. And so these are not like that. So that's why a couple of reasons why I like them. And of course, there is a cleaner option. They don't have a lot of the preservatives and just additives and things like that. And I do typically try to stay away from sprays for the most part. I don't think the spray that doTERRA has a lot of the ingredients that the others do in there, but to aerosolize these sunscreens, they have to add extra chemicals to that, which I get it. Like if you're sandy and you're, at the beach and you need to reapply, it's not very fun to rub sunscreen on. I do get that. But we're trying to do the best we can. Okay. So
Right.
maybe you apply the cleaner version in the morning. And then if you have to use a spray, use it later when they're sandy.
Right.
Again, we're not going for perfection. We're just saying, hey, think about some of these things so you can have some different options. But do you have anything to add to that?
No, I was just going to say, I think a lot of people, when it comes to natural sunscreen, they don't love the more natural brands
Yeah.
because I just wanted to differentiate that it is a physical barrier. So
Right.
usually, as Mary mentioned, it'll kind of be that white,
Hmm.
uh, you know, tinge to your skin or leave it. And that's because it's physically blocking the sun, where most other sunscreens, it's a chemical, right? It actually
Yeah.
soaks into your skin,
Yeah.
and it's preventing sunscreen. So they work a little bit differently. And I don't love it. My kids don't love it. My little Jack is like, Mom, I'm white. But it is a better option, a healthier option for them. I use Beauty Counter, and I know they're not in business. They just kind of went under. So
Yeah.
I'm going to use doTERRA this summer because I don't have any other option at the moment.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
have to
So those
report
are,
back.
yes, I'll report back.
For
Yeah,
sure.
we'll let you know.
Well,
But I wanted to talk
yeah.
about, sorry, so we mentioned obviously sun, you do need sun, and sun is good for you, right? It's the only way you can make vitamin D. It's your only free vitamin. You might as well get
Yeah.
it. But you have to have a balance. So one of the things is we really want you to stay away from the junk oils, which I think we've talked about before. So your safflower, sunflower, canola, any vegetable oil, seed oil really is super important. And you can use something that has the, so Dr. Weston Price, who started the Weston Price Foundation, which many of you have probably heard about, talked about this factor called activator X. They really couldn't isolate it, but they found it mostly with unsaturated fatty acids. And what they found was it really does help protect your skin, especially when you're in the sun. So Standard Process actually has a product called Cataplex F that has the arachidonic, linolenic acid, those fatty acids that really do help protect you and will help prevent actually from getting sunburn. And I've used Cataplex F on vacation. We use it in the summer. We have a cottage, and so we're out in the sun a lot. And I don't love spraying the kids, head to toe. And every day we will take Cataplex F, and it really does work. So if you're in the sun a lot, you don't love to wear a lot of sunscreen, stay away from the junk oils, and Cataplex F is definitely something that you should consider. You might eat calcium lactate too, but Cataplex F is a must. Really, it's a simple and easy thing to include.
And obviously diet matters.
Right. Diet does matter.
Yeah.
And Cataplex F is really just those unsaturated fatty acids that we should be getting in our diet that we probably don't. So it's a really good thing to add. There is iodine in it. So if you're iodine sensitive, by the way, you're not really sensitive to iodine. You're sensitive to the other halogens like bromine and fluoride that are coming out when you ingest iodine. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But we'll put a link for you to order Cataplex F in the show notes.
That makes me think about something else that I heard somebody talking about, is that adding iodine in the summer, if your kids are in the pool a lot, can really help with them not like absorbing all of those chemicals and that really affecting their thyroid.
Right. So chlorine obviously is a halogen. Bromide, which they use now at sometimes instead of chlorine in pools, will displace iodine. So yes, 100% Cataplex F, that's
really cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Yeah, right. You're getting dual. That's actually a really good point. I never thought about that.
That's so cool. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah. So anyway, we will apply. We will give you a link to check out these things. They're both from Standard Process, what she mentioned. And so we'll give you a link to check that out if you do want to purchase that. But one quick thing before we move on, Jen, would you take that every day? How many?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
So as an adult, I take 2 to 4 a day. If I'm going to be in the sun, I'll take closer to 4. If I'm working more during the week, I just take a couple to keep up on it.
Okay. Just to build up stores.
Right. Okay. Exactly. And then for the kids, Jack's 11. He probably weighs about 70 pounds. I'll give him two a day during the week, probably 1, but he's running around more and outside more. So I usually always just give him 2. My oldest is 18, so he's an adult. I'll give him the full 4. But he's not so great at taking things anymore. So he just burns.
Right. Okay. Well, we all have to make our choices.
Right.
So yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make note of that, but we'll give you the link for sure. So interesting. Yeah. That's a great way to think about it too. I mean, obviously our diet matters, but we can supplement with these things to really help. And I'm sure there's so many more benefits rather than just not burning also.
Correct.
Maybe another episode for that. But anyway, one thing before we do move on from from this sun talk is that what happens if you get too much sun, if you do get burnt. I did mention that doTERRA has this after sun spray. I do like it, but honestly, for so many years, I just used whatever lotion that I would typically put on, hopefully a cleaner option. And then I would just add a couple of drops of lavender to that. And it's so effective. I think it goes on a little bit better. I don't love how the spray is not that moisturizing. And a lot of times after when you're in the sun, you want something a little bit more moisturizing when you're kind of burnt, maybe a little bit, right? Maybe you're not that burnt, but sometimes you get really burnt, unfortunately. I mean, it does happen. And so I've found that I really do like adding just the lavender to the lotion and just applying it wherever you're burnt. And I mean, it really works. Like there's a huge difference from,
Ooh,
applying it
that.
overnight. Yeah. Like it works so well. It just is super
Lavender.
healing.
So you just take your lotion that you use every day and you add how many drops should
Probably
I add?
2 to 3.
Okay.
Per
And
application,
put it on your sunburn.
Mhm.
Okay. That's really, wait, actually behind me, you guys can use, well, those aren't
Oh,
watching, but
aloe. Yeah.
yeah, my aloe plant is there. That's what I use.
Yeah. You could definitely use that. You could put lavender with the aloe also.
Oh, that's a great
I
idea.
mean, that's
So can I
probably
cut
just
the aloe plant. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Okay.
it's just going to help. It's all going to speed up healing basically. And lavender is very soothing too, as is aloe. And there actually is aloe in the after sun spray as well. So if you don't have an aloe plant, if you just wanted to make it easy, I would buy the after sun spray. But I like to have things that I can use for multiple things, obviously. And to me, it makes more sense to buy the lavender and put it with whatever lotion because I can use lavender for a million other things like bug bites. It's super, super effective for bug bites because it has that antihistamine property in it. It's kind of like a natural Benadryl. So if you're having like an allergic reaction, you can actually just put a couple drops under your tongue and it'll stop it like that. It's super
really good
effective. Yeah. So you can use it internally or topically. But yeah, that kind of leads us to our next topic, which is bugs.
Wait, I have one more thing.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Kari.
No, you
The Cataplex Elf will work after you get sunburn.
Oh, that's good to know.
Because remember, vitamin D, you pull all this calcium out of your tissue into the blood, right? And so what the essential fatty acids and the F are doing are taking that calcium and putting it back into the tissue.
Okay, great to know. So if you forget,
if you forget, take it blow it up at night. Yes, that burn will heal quickly.
Okay, like game changer, definitely having that plus all these other things at the beach because somebody is going to get burnt. I mean, it's just like, yeah, especially if you're outside all day at the beach or the lake or whatever.
Right.
Somebody's going to get overserved on the sun. So anyway,
overserved. I love it.
Yeah. I love this. Hopefully that was helpful. Because again, gosh, it's just so great to be out in the sun, and it's so good for us. But again, you can get too much as well. But let's move on to bugs because again, if we're outside and it's warm, there are going to be more bugs. I mean, we have a lot of bugs here in the South. We got gnats, we got mosquitoes, we got all the things. So what do you like to use for bug spray?
I actually use Dr. Mercola's bug spray and I love it. I use it on Jack, but I want to try something and I haven't looked into it. If it's they said it was just essential oils, but it's a bracelet that you can get on Amazon. Yeah. That just has some essential oils. I don't know if it works. I haven't tried it, but I wanted to throw that out there because that would be really easy because Jack hates when I spray him with bug spray, but I do because we're at the cottage and there's lots of bugs. He's outside till, so, and you have to do it, but I just wanted to throw that out there, but we'll find the link and put it in the show notes. I don't know if it works, but Kari, do they have the essential, you're the essential oil.
I mean, you can use those diffuser bracelets and put TerraShield on it, which is the repellent blend that doTERRA has. I find that it's just, I mean, it doesn't bother me to spray it on. And it's, so sometimes I'll use the TerraShield blend, which is obviously a blend of oils, but even by itself, lemon eucalyptus is it's the main. I mean, there obviously all the other oils help with bugs, but to me that's the main one. It's actually been studied that it's just as effective, if not more, than DEET. So it's very, very effective and it's very strong too. So sometimes I'll just use straight lemon eucalyptus. And you can actually put it on your pulse points too. You don't actually have to spray it all over your body.
So these are your pulse points on your neck, on your wrists.
In the crease of your
Yep.
arm too. That's a good
Arms.
one. Behind the knees, ankles, you don't have to like spray it all over your body.
And that's where the ticks like to hang out, those
That's true.
warm, cozy places,
Yeah.
right?
So
The
we're going
back
to
of
talk
your
about that
hairline.
more
Yeah,
in
we'll get
just a
to that.
minute. But as far as just bug spray, it's just so important, whatever you do, to find a more natural option. Like, you do not need to spray chemicals all over your body to protect you against bugs. Like, it's not a good idea because it's going to
Right,
get in your bloodstream, and it's just, yeah, there's
right.
just no point to, and really real reason to do it, because honestly, a lot of the bug sprays do have, basically they
DEET.
take the active ingredients from oils and make it synthetically, just like they do with prescriptions, right? I
Right.
mean, it's the same thing. They're going to synthesize it in a lab and make it into uh, what they're going to put in a bug spray. So just use the real stuff. So do you want a real quick option? We're going to link Jenn's, and then I'll link TerraShield. They actually have a pre-made spray in like a little bottle, if you're watching the video, that looks like this size. And then they have the TerraShield also in a bottle that looks like this. This bottle, the regular
She's
oil
holding up an
size,
essential oil
yeah,
vial, by the way.
the regular oil bottle that's like 15 mLs, that is actually a lot cheaper. It's like half the price. And so and it's already pre-diluted. So what I do is I just buy these spray caps, and I'll link some of those too. I just put it on top of there and just spray it directly from the bottle. It's a lot more cost effective, and so I just use it that way. And you can also diffuse it outside. If you're having a meal outside, you can put it in a diffuser and just keep the flies and the, bugs away, gnats and things in the South. Gnats. We have those
So
a lot.
what should we diffuse to keep the just like gnats?
TerraShield. You could do
TerraShield?
TerraShield,
Okay.
or you can just do lemon eucalyptus. They also have citronella. Instead of buying a candle, you can diffuse the oil.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of options
Perfect.
there, but
Perfect. I love it.
it's very effective. So that's what I
I'm
use.
gonna try that at the lake for sure.
Yeah. And then lavender for bug bites. If you do get bitten,
Yeah.
you don't need Benadryl cream or anything like that. Just use lavender. It's one that you can use really without diluting a lot, unless you have very sensitive skin. You can just have the bottle in your hand with the cap off, and just turn it over on your finger and just get a little bit and just put it wherever you need it. So that's really easy. Yeah.
Love that.
So let's talk about ticks though, because obviously that's a whole thing that we want to avoid. So
Definitely.
what are your tick prevention tips?
So obviously we just talked about bug spray, which is big. Light clothing. So, covering, like when Jack's outside, I make sure he has white socks on, or just, like the t-shirts, if he's wearing like a darker t-shirt and it's at night, I literally tell him to change his t-shirt and put on a white one, just because when he comes in, I want to make sure I can see the ticks. So then prevention for us is just tick checks, right? I check. Jack has long hair. So I, check around his forehead. I check behind his ears, under his ears, in his ears, all along his hairline, under his arms. I'll check his neck, behind his knees, and then around his ankles, his feet, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So just a physical check, spray, the oils in Dr. Mercola's, the bug spray that I use will repel ticks. But I feel like ticks aren't really repelled by the smell, because I still, even sometimes when I spray him out, he might have a tick on him. So we have just the tick keys. This is really if it's already been embedded, right? If the tick hasn't been embedded, you can get a key. I'm holding up a tick key to really help get out the tick. And I encourage you that if you do remove a tick, there are labs that will test it. My niece just found one on her on her son, sorry, and tested it, and it did have Lyme. And so they did a preventative course of doxycycline, of course. But yeah, so if you do get a tick that's embedded and you've removed it, keep it, and you can send it off to a lab and get it tested.
Yeah, this kit that I have, it's called Tick Check Tick Removal Card. And it's a little kit. I mean, it's very inexpensive, like less than $10. And it comes with a little pouch. If you're not watching the video, you can't see this, but it tells you, it's like to identify the tick. It has the different like deer tick, dog tick, that kind of thing on this pouch. And then inside the pouch is the key to remove it, because you have to remove it a certain way to get the whole
Right.
tick out. So that's
Right.
extremely important. That's why you want to do it with this versus like tweezers or anything like that. And you also don't want to put oil on a tick to try to get it out. I've seen videos of people doing that, and you don't need to do that. You just want to make sure you remove the whole thing. But it has this tick removal. And then it also has a pre-made envelope for you to send off the tick. So that's really cool. And it has their tick testing, like the actually has the address for you to send it. So it's really, really easy and very
It's
inexpensive.
nice. We'll link those. We'll
Yeah.
link where you got those, Kari, in the
Yeah,
show notes, because
for
that's really
sure.
convenient.
Definitely. And I've used it several times. So anyway, that's just some things to have on hand. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you do, you'll have it there. But yeah.
Yeah. This is awesome. I learned so much, Kari.
Hey,
Thank
me too.
you. Yeah.
I hope that you did as well. If you have any questions related to any of these things at all, you can always DM us on Instagram. You can email us. However you get in touch with us is fine. We definitely want to be helpful to you guys. And there'll be a lot of links in the show notes today. So check those out. Or if you're watching the video, obviously the description is video, but we're continuing our summer series. We have 6 episodes left. And so keep tuning in.
Yeah, we're
Let us
so
know.
excited about the
I know.
next one. Yes, definitely tune into the next one.
Yeah. So if you listen to this and you find it helpful, tag us on Instagram. Let us know that you watched it and like what you got from it. I just love knowing that like we're going on we're on with you on your walk, or we're with you on in your car ride. That's just so cool. We're just honored, to be of service to you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.